ॐ गणानां गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतान शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। शारदा शारदाम्बुज वदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं प्रियात् सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। चतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनशम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। See, when you see this Om Sahanaavatu, in the book of Hymns, where is it? Om Sahanaavatu. It is not mentioned with Uddat, Anuddat. In Mantra Pushpam you'd see the beginning it must be Shanti part. First, see, Tassa is going down here. Every day we should improve ourselves. Generally what is chanted, Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu, this is not 100% accurate. Hear this, Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahe. तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मस्तु. Not vasi, not sahanavavato saha saha. Try to improve everything. Let us check. आनंदमयाधिकरण आनंदमयोभ्यासाद् विकार शब्दान्नीति चेन्न प्राचुर्यात् तद्हेतु विपदेशाच्च मान्त्रवर्णिकमेव च गीयते नेतरोनुपपत्तेः भेदव्यपदेशाच्च कामाच्च नानुमानापेक्षा अस्मिन्नस्य च तद्योगं शास्ति अन्तस्तद्धर्मोपदेशात् भेदव्यपदेशाच्चान्यः आकाशस्तल्लिङ्गात् अत एव प्राणः ज्योतिश्चरणाभिधानात् Let us chant few. Page 156. When we are chanting, please see what has been already mentioned and Purpaksh is coming here. Idamanananti atayad ataf paro divo jyotirdipyate vishvatah पृष्ठेषु सर्वतः पृष्ठेषु अनुत्तमेषु उत्तमेषु लोकेषु इदं वावतत् यदिदम् अस्मिन्नन्तः पुरुषे ज्योतिः इति तत्र संशयः किमिह ज्योतिशब्देन आदित्यादिज्योतिः अभिधीयते किं वा परमात्मेति अर्थान्तरविषयस्यापि तल्लिंगा ब्रह्म विषयत्वम् उक्तम् इह तु तल्लिंगम् एव अस्ति नास्तीति विचार्यते किं तावत् प्राप्तम् आदित्यादिकम् एव ज्योतिशब्देन परिगृह्यते इति कुतः प्रसिद्धेः. I hope you are understanding. See तत्र संशयः किम इह ज्योति शब्देन आदित्यादि ज्योति विधीयते किम वा परमात्मा इति अर्थांतर विषयस्यापि शब्दस्य in the previous section तल्लिंगात् ब्रह्म विषयत्वम् उक्तम्. अर्थांतर means in the other section इह तु तल्लिंगम एव अस्ति नास्ति इति विचार्यते. Is there any linga of Brahman or not? किम तावत् प्राप्तम्, what will happen? आदित्यादिकम एव ज्योति शब्देन. This is पूर्व पक्ष. कुतः? Bhashyakar asks, how can you say like that? Prasiddhe. 6 reasons what he gave. प्रसिद्ध है। तमो ज्योतिरिति हीमौ शब्दः शब्दौ शब्दौ परस्पर प्रतिद्वंद्वी विषयो प्रसिद्धौ चक्षुर्वृत्तेः निरोधकम् शार्वरादिकम् तम उच्यते तस्याः एव अनुग्राहकम् आदित्यादिकं ज्योतिः. He says tamo and jyoti, these are opposite words. Puru Paksha. Light is always with supposition to darkness. He imau. Paraspar pratidvandvi. There are mutually exclusive words. Chakshurvritte. Jyoti is mentioned as one thought, one function of mind. Here vritti means function. And what it does? Sharvaradikam. The night darkness, nirodhakam, it removes. So, tasya ev anugrahakam, and the anugrahak of this function of eyes is adityadikam jyoti. This is Purvapaksha. Tatha deepyate iti yamapi श्रुतिः आदित्यादि विषया प्रसिद्धा नहीं रूपादिहीनं ब्रह्म दीप्यते इति मुख्यां श्रुतिम् अर्हति. द्युमर्यादत्व श्रुतेश्च चराचर बीजस्य ब्रह्मणः सर्वात्मकस्य द्यौमर्यादा युक्ता कार्यस्य तु ज्योतिषः परिच्छिन्नस्य द्यौमर्यादा स्यात् परो दिवो ज्योतिः इति च ब्राह्मणं ननु कार्यस्यापि ज्योतिषः सर्वत्र गम्यमानत्वात् द्युमर्यादा वत्वम् असमञ्जसम् अस्तु तर्हि त्रिवृत्कृतं तेजः प्रथमजम् न अत्रिवृत्कृतस्य तेजसः प्रयोजनाभावादिति इदमेव प्रयोजनम् यद् उपास्यत्वमिति चेत् न प्रयोजनान्तरप्रयुक्तस्य एव आदित्यादेः उपास्यत्वदर्शनात् तासां त्रिवृतम् एकैकां कर्वाणि इति च अविशेष श्रुतेः न च अत्रिवृत्कृतस्यापि तेजसः द्युमर्यादत्वं प्रसिद्धम् अस्तु तर्हि त्रिवृत्कृतमेव तत्तेजो ज्योतिःशब्दम् ननु उक्तं ऋग्वागपि दिवो अवगम्यते अग्न्यादिकं ज्योतिरिति. अग्न्यादिकं ज्योतिरिति नैष दोषः सर्वत्रापि गम्यमानस्य ज्योतिषः परो दिवः इति उपासनार्थः प्रदेश विशेष परिग्रहो न विरुध्यते न तु निष्प्रदेशस्यापि ब्रह्मणः प्रदेश विशेष कल्पना भागिनी सर्वतः पृष्ठेषु अनुत्तमेषु उत्तमेषु लोकेषु इति चाधारभूत्वश्रुतिः कार्ये ज्योतिषी उपपद्यते तराम् इदं वाव तद्यदिदम् अस्मिन् अन्तःपुरुषे ज्योतिः इति च कौक्षेये ज्योतिषी परं ज्योतिः अध्यस्यमानं दृश्यते सारूप्यनिमित्ताश्चाध्यासा भवन्ति यथा तस्य भूरिति शिरः एकं शिरः एकमेतदक्षरमिति कौक्षयस्य तु ज्योतिषः प्रसिद्धम् अब्रह्मत्वं तस्यैषा दृष्टिः तस्यैषा श्रुतिः इति च औष्ण्यघोषविशिष्टत्वस्य श्रवणात् quite a bit is there. Did you understand? Second point. Something is clicking or not? See, the time is very less. I wanted to complete, but I'll give you little, not difficult bhashya. Just see, second point is Deepyate words there. First was Prasiddhi. There were 6 objections by the Purva Paksha. I'll go to the Bhashya just and then I'll come back to the 6th point. See, Bhashya says, Tatha Deepyate ita iti iyamapi Shruti Aditya Vishaya Prasiddha. Who is saying? Purva Paksha. Be very, very careful. So he is saying, Nahi Roop Adi Vihinam Brahma Deepyate iti Mukyam Shruti Marhati. Something is shining, there is no form in the Brahman. How can you say it is shining? He is saying, Nahi Roop Adi Brahma Deepyate iti Mukyam Shruti Marhati. I can't believe like that. Div Maryadatva Shrutescha. Then, there was a third point called Maryada Vachanat. He has mixed both up. Div Maryada, that up to that, Parabdeva, up to that is that. So he is saying, Nahi Charachara Bijasya Brahmana Sarvatmakasya Do Maryada Yukta. You can't limit the Brahman at up to this is Brahman like that. And therefore, Karyasya tu Jyotisha Parichinnasya Do Maryada Sat. So this is the inert. I was saying Karya Jyoti. So see, Karyasya tu Jyotisha. 6th case is there. Parichinnasya Jyotisha. Vyav Maryada Sat. So Paro Brahm Divya Jyoti iti cha Brahmanam. Brahmanam is in that section. Nanu Karyasyapi Jyotisha Sarvatra Gamya Manatvat Div Maryada Vatvam Asamanjasam. He is saying, this anything effect cannot be all pervading. Nanu is objection. And therefore, Astu Tarhi. Astu Tarhi means, Astu means yes. Tarhi means then. Astu Tarhi Atrivrit Kritam Teja Prathamajam. So, So he is saying, so atrivrit, that light which has not astu tarhi. So he is saying atrivrit, that light which has not gone through many. Atrivrit in Chandogya Upanishad, the like Panchikaran is there, Trivrit Karan is there of Agni, Jal and Prithvi only. So Akash and Vayu is not taken, if you remember, in the 6th chapter. So astu tarhi atrivrit kritam tejaha prathamajam. So this stage which has not been divided into, that tej is there but not divided, that should be the Jyoti word. Then he says, na atrivrit kritasya tejasah prayojan abhavad iti. So then it was said, so avrit, that if you are saying that consciousness which has not been divided, if that is the tej which is mentioned here, so he is saying that atrivrit kritasya tejasah prayojan, there is no purpose of that. How can that be pervasive which has not been yet divided? So it is not possible. Then here it is said, idameva prayojanam yad upasyatto. This is the argument given by Shankaracharya. This is the upasyam Brahma. So na prayojan antar prayuktasya. So there is no other, don't bring another purpose in the upasana. Prayuktasya adityadehe upasyatto darshanat. Tasam trivritam ekam karvani jicha abhisheshutehe. So na cha atrivrit kritasyapi tejasa divamaryadatvam prasuttam. So he is saying there that which has not been divided into 3, you cannot say it is limited. Astu tarhi trivrit kritam eva tat tejo jyoti shabdam. And therefore trivrit kritam eva, whenever maryada is being talked of, only what is divided into 3, that should be taken. Then Bhashyakar says, Nanu, is Manu from Bhashyakar, Uktam Rigvag api divavagamyati agnadikam jyoti. He said in the Rig Ved also, it has been said that above the heaven is the Agni. Naisha dosha, this is not dosha. So sarvatrapi gamyamanasya jyotisha parodiva iti upasanartham. Underline that. Although that jyoti is everywhere, but for the upasana mention, pradesha vishesha parigraho na viruddhati. Till this you have to underline. Okay. So I'm just giving you some clue to understand that what we were talking has some base. So don't think we were not talking just like that. You saw that. Now I'm going to put it in nutshell so that you can compile it more systematically. Organizing the thinking is a very important step of a seeker. Now, 6 objections were there, and you read it. I'm not reading it. Time is running away. Somebody was saying 2 classes. How can 2 classes possible? Heavy subject is there. Then first class will be from 7:30. The first objection was prasiddha meaning was there. If you remember 6 objections, quickly I am repeating objections, then we'll give the answer. So that the second objection was deepyate word was there. Third objection was maryada was there. That lok maryada you are finding, maryada vachanat. Fourth objection was adhar vachanat. Adhar, when you are saying adhar is there, lokeshu, tameshu, how can that all pervading jyoti be in some adhar? This was the fourth Fifth was that Ishwar is visualized, Sadrishyam should be there, of the Alamban and Upasyam. And this Sadrishyam is Jad, therefore that Jyoti also should be there. And Parichinna Phala Shravanat. These are the six, that the phal was there. One who will do this asana will have good look and he will be famous. So these were the six six objections which he had raised, and let us see Bhashyakar answers it. As per the answer of the Bhashyakar, I am trying to put it into simplest kind of words. So number one answer, Prasiddhi. So there are two answers which are given. Two answers are given. First is, primary meaning should be sacrificed. First answer is, for the Prasiddhi one, primary meaning should be sacrificed if all other factors are favoring the secondary meaning. Primary meaning should be sacrificed if all other factors are supporting the or favoring the secondary meaning. We have already discussed this point, that Upanishad talks about Sarvavyapakatvam and Charan Abhidhanat. So Sarvatmakatvam, that which is the base of all, Sarvatmakatvam, that has become all. How can inert thing become all? Because inert thing cannot become Jeev. Inert Jyoti, if you say, this Jyoti was established to be the primary meaning. Secondary meaning was that this Jyoti was proved to be the Brahman, which was Gayatri, and that Gayatri was Sarvatmakatvam and Chatushpatvam. If you see from the Upanishad mantra, 12th section mantra. And therefore, anything which is Sarvatmakatvam, that means it has become all. Inert cannot become Chetan. Sarva will include Jeev also. So all the Jeev, how can the inert be expressing as all the Jeev? If inert expresses all the Jeev, then I should have knowledge I don't know myself. Right? So two mentions were there, Sarvatmakatvat and Chatushpatvam. From the 12th section we had taken this clue, and therefore this is not the right thing. We are sacrificing the primary meaning because secondary meaning is very strong here. Okay, like you say, he is lion. Lion, secondary meaning we have to take. Primary meaning cannot be taken here. So inert light cannot justify the meaning which are mentioned in the 12th section. Definition. Therefore, we have taken the secondary meaning, not that we are fond of secondary meaning. Okay. This is the one argument. Second argument is, see, you have heard Upanishad? Of course, I am a Upanishad student. I have done Vedanta course also. Its name is Vedanta course. Upanishad courses. See, the course name is Vedanta course. He said in the Upanishads, in the Jyoti word has been come in the primary meaning only. Jyotisham api tat Jyoti. The light word in the Upanishad has come in the meaning of consciousness and not the inert Jyoti. Jyotisham api tat Jyoti tamasa paramuchyate. You heard in 13th chapter also in Gita. You heard now? Jyoti word has come there. So Jyoti word has come in the primary meaning in the Upanishad. Although this is Shruti Prasiddh and not Lok Prasiddh. Dhyan dena. Every science or every discipline has its own language. Inflation has a meaning different in economics and different in the person who fills the tire. अब inflation meaning of the tire, you cannot put in the meaning of there. Procedure in the medical has a different meaning, that procedure of making the plumbing work. So word procedure for a plumber is different and procedure for a doctor is different. So you should know then when we are studying the Shruti earth should be taken and not the Laukik earth. Okay. Tat Shubram Jyotisham Jyoti. Mundak says, therefore you have to go through the Upanishads. Tat Shubram, there is one mantra, Hiranmay Pare Koshe, Virjo Brahm Manishkalam, Tat Shubram Jyotisham Jyoti. In Mundak it comes Tat Shubram Jyotisham Jyoti. Then Natatra Suryo Bhat Tasya Bhasa Sarva Vidam Vibhati is there. So there also the Jyoti word has come, light word, Avissain Sanhitam Guhacharam Nama is also in Mundak. Avissanhitam, there is one light who is in the heart. So light word, Jyoti word is very commonly used in the primary meaning of consciousness in the Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita also. Tat tejo viddhimamakam. In Gita it is said, Yadadityagadam tejah jagat bhasyate khilam yat chandramasi yat chagnau tat tejo. Ab here this tej word is not for inner Jyoti. Viddhimamakam, that is my tej only. So two reasons are given for what you are saying, that primary meaning you are sacrificing. I am giving two reasons why I am sacrificing the primary meaning. And therefore, Jyoti should be taken as Brahman in this case. Okay. Second, Deepyate. You use the word Deepyate as like verb is there. By verb, because to make a sentence I have to use a verb. In the Upanishads also, this is Shastra Prasiddha. Tamev Bhantam Anubhati. Anubhati is word. If I have to say consciousness is shining, I have to use the word shining, not to tell that it's an object which is shining, but to show its nature of shining. Don't take it the literal meaning. Tamev Bhantam Anubhati Sarvam is there. So lot of words, consciousness shines is there. So, Tatatra bhasyate surya, nema vidyado bhanti kuto yamag. So everywhere the verb is not meant in the meaning of the object is illuminating a light in the Upanishad. You are an Upanishad student and therefore you should not take it the object and its function meaning. Supposing we say, this drishta sees all. The consciousness is witness of all. Witness consciousness. A witness, he is witnessing all. A witnessing is not an action there. When it is said that consciousness is witnessing all, so it is not like I am witnessing the crime. He is the witness of the crime in the court. He is a witness. When you go for even marriage documentation, then also I heard there is one witness. One or two witnesses are there. The boy and girl who are marrying, so you need two witnesses. Two or one. Two witnesses are there. So any two witnesses can be there. Need not be parents. What an immoral legal point. It is legal but not moral. Any two witnesses, you can catch any friend and say, this, me witness. So they will sign and I am the friend. They will ask, okay, who are you? So there is a column there. I have no idea, I have heard. So they will have to sign that I am the witness. So when witness word is used, we see somebody seeing like that. And when they said witness, Sakshi is there. So Sakshi does not mean literally he is seeing an object outside. It only means in its presence everything is seen. But Upanishad is using the word vibhati, anubhati, etc. It is not an object and verb relationship here. It is only in the meaning that in its presence everything is seen. It is not an object which is doing an action of illumination, like a bulb is doing an action of illumination. Because if the object was there, I told yesterday, anything which is an object, it diminishes. Every action makes the worker tired. And therefore bulb also gets tired of illuminating and it gets fused. He said, no, I won't illuminate now. Because how long it will illuminate? Because there is an action involved. But there is no consciousness, is not tired of illuminating. It is not an action, it's its own nature. And therefore, Deepyate word should not be taken in the Laukik meaning. Please take in the Shastri meaning, as is said in the scriptures. Third point now. Maryada Vachanat. You told about Maryada Vachanat. He is above the space. You understand. This is the Sagun Upasana section. In Sagun Upasana section, this always Ishwar is all pervading. But in the Upasana, we always confine something. Confine to an idol. Although we know he is all pervading, but we are confining to the idol. So Upasana Parichedaha Doshaya na bhavati. It should not be seen as a fault. Bhagavan Krishna is born in Vrindavan or Gokul. It is not a fault. How can he be born, you can say? Why I am saying it is not born for Upasana, I am supposing him. I am supposing him because Upasana, very principle of Upasana is on something you have to localize something. You are localizing. When you do puja, you say ahvanam. You do ahvanam, that on this paduka, please come. So you are localizing the Ishwar. Or Vaikunt is there. Vaikunt. Vaikunt is one place. Only how can all pervade? Or Kailash is there. Only how can in one place Bhagavan Shiva can be there? How can he be there? But I have to do Upasana. Therefore, I am localizing him in Kailash. Not that he is only in Kailash. Or he is only in Vaikunt. This is the Upasanarth. Made one line also that line. Fourth point, what you mentioned, Adhar Vachanad. That, it is in this, it is in this. This is also a point of Upasana. Upasanartham adhara doshaya na bhavati. What is meant for Upasana? It is not for, if you are invoking, Prana Pratishtha is done in the Murti. In the Murti. So, locative cases. Prana Pratishtha is done in the Murti. That all pervading Ishwar, how can you put him in the Murti? So, this is for Upasana. Don't extend it unnecessarily. This is what those who don't want to do puja, they use such argument. Ishwar is all pervading. Why are you confining him to one Murti? Why are you confining him in one Murti? Somebody told, Swami Vivekananda was going, thinking of Khatri was there. He said this point. He said, why you Hindus, you are confining him to Murti? So, there was a photograph kept on the wall. So he started hating that photograph. So that king got upset. He said, why are you hating? Ole, what is this? Ole, this is my father. He said, I see a paper. I'm not hitting a paper. I'm father, I'm hitting a paper. He said, but I see father in my paper. You cannot do like that. So similarly, he said, this is the point here. Our capacity is not there to see all pervasive Ishwar right now. If you have developed that capacity, you need not do Upasana. You are not confined, you're not bound to do Upasana. I mean, you may or you may not. Because you can see God everywhere now. You need not do Upasana because you are already Siddha now. You see God everywhere. Then for you, insult and honor are same, because everything is God only. For you, Janma and Marana are same. But Upasana's principle is first try to make your drishti siddh drishti on some aspect. Pakao jara sa drishti ko. Got my point? Didn't get my point. Siddh drishti, at least at one altar, try to make this siddh drishti that this is God, this is God, this is God. Then we'll pervade it later on. At least one place you go, you feel more faith is there, or you can feel like bowing down. So try to make one place where your mind totally melds, at least at one place, in the whole world. At least that vritti which is formed is called Ishwar vritti. Because you cannot see God everywhere. You don't have that capacity to see God everywhere. Well, I'll start with seeing God in the snake. No, you start with something pious. You don't jump to a snake and a scorpion. First, in Shubh Vastuni, you see the God. Auspicious things are in the sun, in the moon. Don't have a wrong start. Then you'll say, I was, worshipping a snake bit me. That will not happen. Or else see God in the wicked person also. Start God in seeing the saints first. Your capacity is not there to see God in the wicked person. Otherwise, you have to see in yourself. So, first of all, see God in Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. See in that places where you get a lot. Try to make a Siddha Drishti on mother, father, teacher, Siddha Drishti. Try to make an altar in your mind. So that your surrender is easier. You can give up your will. You can give up your ahankar at one place, two places in your whole life. Then you can be extending it to all other places. Understand the purpose of Upasana. And therefore you are trying to confine it. So you are putting the Adesh into Desh, Akal into Kal, Avastu into Avastu. Because our mind is not that pure to see everywhere. So I am trying to, and mind can think is small. It is the nature of the mind to think is small. And therefore I am putting something is small. On the small you think now this is God now. So parichinna vastuni aparichinna bhava. Nikrishta vastuni utkrishta bhava. This is the very principle of Upasana. Don't try to put philosophy there. Don't try to mix the last result with your state. Last result is that it is all pervading and there is no difference. There is nobody. Or I see God everywhere. Then you are not. You may not do Upasana. Upasana is not. If your mind is so pure and so evolved, then you are above Upasana. You may or may not do that. It is your choice. But right now, you don't see goodness anywhere. You have no surrender in your mind. Your ahankar, your calm, your krodh is such that it does not get. At least seeing some murti should be there where your calm krodh should quieten. There should be some murti. You go there first in the temple, don't discuss worldly things. In the temple, don't talk about politics in front of God sitting. Or don't spread your feet and put in front of the murti. Or don't eat something. The dinner is served in the temple. In the temples here, dinner is served, marriages are done. So they have one temple hall, it is called. So they mix the hall and temple both, which I don't like. I say the hall and the temple should be different. Temple should not be the pravachan hall. Temple should be temple only. Because in temple you give attention to Lord all the time. Don't give attention to pravachan. So Lord is sitting, people are sitting, seeing the speaker. That is not the main principle. It is virodhi of our upasana siddhanta. In the temple, discuss about the temple only. In the temple, whenever you go, I told also, first chant Lord, that Lord's name, or chant one Rudri, or chant any stotra, then you can chant your japa, etc. But at least you should first invoke that God who is the deity there. At least seeing him, I feel like bowing down. I am very conscious that God is here. To increase the consciousness that God is here, I should not lie, I should not be impure. My dress should not be impure. My body should not be, because he is a live God now. In front of him, I should not be angry. I should not be kami. I should not be showing my ahankar, bow down to him. So at one place for half an hour, for 15 minutes, I am practicing to surrender. Therefore, this is the principle of your upasana in your room also. In your room, all of you have your altar. And that is the principle of your upasana. Then I will multiply it later on. Then I will multiply it at every place. And therefore Vaikuntha has been mentioned, Kailas has been mentioned. Okay. So they say, these Hindus are idol worship. We are not idol worshippers. We worship the God in the idol worship. We are worshipper of God in the idol, not the idol. Hindus are not idol worshippers. Or they are worshipping the stone. I am not worshipping the stone. I am worshipping the God who is expressing in the stone. I don't see the stone when I see the murti. I don't see the marble there. Like when you see your mother, you don't see a woman there. You don't say, she is not a mother, she's just a woman. You don't see, there is a bhav murti of the mother in your mind when you see. For others, she may be woman, but for me, she is not a woman. I don't see this woman. When I see my mother, this is a woman. You see, this is my mother. Similarly, Guru is there. Guru may be one person only. But I want to develop a Guruvakar vritti so that when I see my teacher, bhava samarpana comes, surrender comes. Although he is a finite person, Guru is a finite person. He also eats. Gurudev also ate. Gurudev also walked. Gurudev also fell sick. Gurudev also had blood pressure. Gurudev also had all the ailments which an ordinary person will have. But I wanted to make my drishti little paripakva, ripened drishti, that one place, one person in my whole world, I will not leave my shraddha. I will see that ahankar comes down. I will see that anger does not come. I will see that I am not speaking in high pitch. I will see that I feel like prostrating. I will feel that I will obey. So this is trying to ripening your one thought. Thought needs a ripening process. Everything needs a ripening. Then only it is stable. Then only it can be long lasting. It has become solid. It has become ripened now. It has become now. It is not a fluid thought. Like the baby in the stomach is there. So it can't come out. Baby in the stomach, supposing baby is 4 months or 5 months, and it comes out, it is not having a shape now. So they have to put in incubators and all this. 3-4 months it is miscarriage then. Even 7 months is the risk of baby dying away. So because the organs are not yet solid. Once I went to one, gynecologist in Jodhpur. She said, please come in my hospital. So I went there. So they had premature babies. My God, this big babies were there. And all the, the small, you are afraid of touching them also. Because the skin is so soft, as if it is liquid. And they were kept under a temperature, because inside the stomach temperature is regulated. They can't take the temperature. And you have to take out the shoes. They can't take the infection. Everything is too... I mean, you can make it out that he's not totally ready now. It came out premature. So he can't function. He's likely to die away. He should not be exposed to this outer world. No? And therefore God's creation put him inside the womb, well protected, and there is no infection, there is no... So they had this thing because food has to be given now. So for that they cannot eat also. So there was some pipe going here and there. I said, I can't see, take me out. It's too tender and too... Then I felt we should not be born, poor people. So when the thought is not matured and hard, it is fluid thought. It slips away at slightest incidents. So upasana is a method of maturing and solidifying your thought. That under extreme situation also, at least I'll be protected. My kam krodh won't come. My ahankar won't come. My bhav of sharanagati will not be taken away. And therefore we go and sit in front of our altar, we do puja, we do part, we do bhajan, we do jap, etc. And that is the long process of solidifying the thought. At a certain time, at a certain place. So I feel very upset today, I was very upset. So I went in front of my altar. And what thought I had, it came back to rescue me. So it took away all other thoughts because I had spent my time in solidifying my thought there. That thought was hiding, it came up. Okay. I hope you understood the principle. This is how in the mother, father, therefore I was telling, please leave these places, don't touch these places. Because you will have no place left. If you are angry in front of your mother also, or mother also are angry, father also are angry, guru also are angry. So it is not their loss. I have no place of making myself egoless, calmless, krodhless. And the upasya blessings also won't be there. Because I have not propitiated that devata. Therefore, Shankaracharya Bhagavan says in Matra Devo Bhava, if you read Bhashya, Devatavat Pujini. They're not saying respect your mother. Not the statement meant respect your mother. As you worship a devata with patram, pushpam, etc., akshat, etc., worship the mother like that. Have a vritti of Ishvarakar vritti. Devya ya devi sarvetuj matrupena samsita. Try to make that thought mature and solid. This is the purpose of the upasana. Didn't get my point. And therefore lot of pujas are there in our house. Guru puja is there. Paduka puja is there. What for Paduka puja is there? In some ashram, before they start Brahma Sutra, they chant whole Dakshinamurti Stotra. And after the Brahma Sutra classes, again Dakshinamurti Stotra. All is to solidify this thought. What? Acharyopasanam Saiva. So that when I will hear from Acharya, I will take it very seriously that it is coming from God. So obedience is not difficult for me now. Because when you are in the ashram, difficult work is done, difficult sadhanas are given, difficult advice is given. And it needs difficulty because my nature is not to follow it. So Acharyopasana makes your mind very malleable to follow it. It takes it. The purpose of Upasana, I hope you have understood. So Adhara Avdharanat, what you are talking, my dear, it is Upasanartham Adhara Doshaya na Bhavati. So when Brahman is mentioned in the Adhar, it is not for fault. Don't see fault here. Don't see fault here, please. It is for upasana. In the puja, in what is it called? Asmin Haridra Bimbe. Ganesh ji is put in the Haridra Bimbe. In the Haridra means haldi. Haldi. Similarly, in our houses, there used to be cow dung. In the cow dung also God was there. Avan was there. Ultimately, they do research also. Our Shivji is put in the Shivling, which is made out of mud also. Parthiv Shivling it is called. Parthiv Shivling. Bhagwan Ram was worshipping Parthiv Shivling. Not that he carried Shivling everywhere. Anyway. So he was wherever he was, used to make Shivji out of Baluka or Mrittika. Everywhere. And then he was worshipping, and then Varsarjan was there. So Rameshwaram Shivling is made out of Baluka. Baluka means sand. There was one bag was there, somebody was carrying a big bag. This was not like that. He vanvas ke liye ja rahe hain, or you are going for all this thing. That was not that thing is there. There was one person there in India. Every day he used to make, I think, 10,000 or 5,000 shivling. 5,000-10,000 shivling out of mud. And in the evening do Visarjan near Narmada. Then again morning used to do. That was his sadhana. And then do puja of that. Got the point here. So this is the principle of upasana. If anybody talks like that, you should understand we are not worshipping the mud. We are worshipping the God expressing in the mud. This is the fourth. Fifth was sadrishyam. You said that in the Jataragni the sound is there and what is it called? Heat is there. Please note, there is no such rule. What? That Jad Alamban is equal to Jad Upasya. Why are you forming your own rules? Jad Alamban is not equal to Jad Upasya. Why? Well, then we cannot do any puja and upasana, because in every upasana, the object is always something seen. And anything which is seen will be inert only. Invisible Devata requires a visible alamban. And all worldly alamban are inert only. Whether it is Himalaya, whether it is Ganga. So they don't make it a rule. There is no sadrishyam. This is not a rule regarding that. Therefore, Brahma Sutras teaches you to think. And this is what people say. You know, these Hindus, they see they are worshipping a stone. No, this is not like that. So how will you say in Sanskrit? Alamban upasyayoho atyant sadrishyam na pekshitam. Alamban upasyayoho. Between the alamban and the upasya, atyant sadrishyam na pekshitam. Not that it has to be completely same. Ganesh ji is so big, hefty, and you made it in such a small Haridra. This is not the purpose of that. Alamban upasyayoho atyant sadrishyam na pekshitam. Right? No? It is not important that both has to be same only. Okay. You cannot say that it has to be same. Guru Brahma has 4 heads, my Guru has only 1. This is not the meaning. Don't be silly. Okay. Guru Vishnu, he doesn't sleep on a snake. Guru Devo Maheshwara, he doesn't have a snake on his head, and no Ganga is coming in my Guru's head. Only hairs are there. Ganga is not there. How can I say Guru Devo Maheshwara? I think you need beating. See, this is not the literal, is not be taken. सहालंबन उपास्यो अत्यंत सादृश्यम न अपेक्षितम. And he is a Chaturvadano Brahma, Dvibahur. Therefore, a Bhalalochana Shambhu. He doesn't have third eyes. Okay. This is the fourth point. See how many points you will get clarity when you go through Brahma Sutra. Fifth point. No, sorry, this is fifth. Sixth point. You said no, that phalam is parichinnam. It was mentioned. I showed everything there. That the phalam was a person becomes, who does upasana on the sound, he will be very popular. And the person who does upasana on the, what is it called, heat and cold, he becomes very beautiful, handsome he becomes. So therefore, parichinna phalam is given. So answer is given. Please note one thing. Limited devata can give limited phalam. I agree. It cannot give you limitless results. But you cannot say that unlimited Ishwar cannot give you limited phalam. Limitless Ishwar can give you limited phalam and unlimited phalam also. To Dhruji he gave a limited phalam. To Kardamji he gave a limited phalam. Kardamji wanted a wife, very good wife. He did tapasya. Then Dehuti came. Ab Dehuti was a limited phalam of the tapasya. But that does not mean that Bhagwan can give only Dehuti. Bhagwan can give only one wife only. He can give moksha also. Yo yam tanum bhakta shraddhaya architum archati tasya chalam shraddham tam eva vidadamyam sataya shraddhaya yukta tasya aradan miyate labate chatata kaman mayeva betani jan. But antavatu phalam tesham tad bhavat talpim. If you are invoking, he can give you limited phalam. So that fruit is mentioned. It is not that is the fruit only he was giving the unlimited fruit. That is mentioning to say that anybody wanted that kind of worldly fruit, therefore he got that fruit. He is not the one who can give. If you see in Upanishad, in the, what is it called, Upanishads also, Puran, lot of limited fruits are, somebody is becoming king, somebody is getting children, somebody is getting something from the unlimited issue. But Devata cannot give unlimited fruit. Limited Devata cannot give unlimited fruit. Okay, that he cannot give. Yanti devavrata devan pitrun yanti pitrvata bhutan yanti bhuteja yanti madhyapi maham. In 9th chapter it comes. Yanti devavrata devan pitrun yanti pitrvata bhutan yanti bhuteja yanti madhyajinopi maham. Those who are my devotees, they come. Doesn't mean it's a part. Those who worship the infinite with the buddhi of getting the infinite, they get infinite result also. Anybody will get any fruit. A Vaishnavi Devi, they go for children, they get sometime fruit. I went in some Meenakshi temple. So there was one murti there. You have to put ghee there. The fruit of that was a person who is pregnant. She will have a smooth delivery. Smooth delivery. Earlier these doctors were not there. So that Devi was giving you smooth delivery. If you go to temples, they will have, all limbs made out of silver. Some temples. So somebody's eyes are not okay. So they offer the eyes of silver. So you'll get outside. Silver eyes you will get. Kukke Subramaniam will get silver eyes. Somebody's hands have problem. So there are hands made out of silver. Cheap. It's not expensive. This big hand is there. So you offer to the deity. That hand. This Sachin Telkar had tennis elbow problem. Tennis elbow. So he went to Kukke Subramaniam and prayed to God there that let his elbow be okay. So he got the fruit. So don't think like that. It is like dharmarthi prapmya dharma, kamarthi kamapmyat. At the end of Vishnu Sahasranam, all the fruits are given. Those who don't have children, they can get dinner. So I hope you are. So this is the completion of all the Purupaksh. What was the Purupaksh? Who's Purupaksh? Therefore, Tasmad Jyoti Brahm Ev Charan Abhidhanat. Conclusion is this. Tasmat. He had lost in all stories. Tasmat Jyoti Charan Eva. Brahm Eva Charana Abhidhanat. Okay. Put in the format of Adhikaran. Adhikaran has not get over. You want the format. This is the first sutra. Format will come after fourth. 4 will be over. Then we'll talk about format. Okay, sorry. Now we will go to next sutra. Very long sutra is there. Unlike Brahma Sutra, this sutra is there. Such a long sutra. By page 163. Like a shlok is there. My God. Please repeat after me. It's a rare case where sutras are long. Page 163. Chando vidhananneti chet na tatha chetuvarpan nigadat tatha hi darshanam. Again. Chando vidhanat neti chet na tatha chetuvarpan nigadat tatha hi darshanam. So, who will define sutra? See your Brahma Sutra. Alpaksharam asandigdham sarvat vishvato mukham astobham anavatyam cha sutram sutra vido. Simple definition is there. So very first definition of this is Alpaksharam. Very minimum words are required for the sutra. Whether it is Bhakti Sutra, Dharma Sutra. And I told also why minimum word is required, because it is easier to by heart. Janmadhyasya yatah. So easy. No long shlokas are Gita are there. Shastriyo nitvat tad hetu vipadeshacha. So easy to by heart. So difficult to understand. Jyotish charana vidhanat. So nice. Are yaad ho gaya hoga. One slok is difficult to by heart. This particular sutra is little exceptional in its length. Generally, such long sutras, Bhagavan Vedavyas is not fond of writing. 25th sutra. So he will not be writing. So this is one exceptional long sutra. Very few sutras are long like that. Okay. But good sutra is there. It will clarify few more points. What it is there. So, my time is over. We'll come back to this sutra tomorrow. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.